What is up, YouTube? It's Grinch, and in front of me I have every LEGO Velociraptor ever released. The first Raptor was released in 2005, and since then there have been a total of 15 Velociraptors that have been released by LEGO. All but 2 of these Raptors use the modern LEGO Raptor mold, and there's a surprising amount of color variation between the collection of Raptors. In this video, I'll tell you when each Raptor was released, the number of sets that it came in, and their current value. For their value, I'll be using the current average listing price on Bricklink for one of these pieces in new condition, and if you watch until the end, I'll tell you the total value of this entire collection. Lastly, I want to thank you for watching and let you know that I've started a Plain Old Grinch Discord channel where we talk about all things LEGO. Follow the link in the description to join. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining in the conversation in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first up, we have the Dinosaur Mutant Velociraptor. This Raptor was released in 2005, and it technically came out in 2 sets, but that was dependent really on your region. If you lived in the United States, this came in a Dino Attack set, and if you lived in Europe, this came in a Dino 2010 set. They were for the most part the exact same set, just with a few different pieces and different branding depending on your region. Currently, this dinosaur costs $21.50. Up next, we have the Velociraptor with dark green back, lime markings, and tan claws that came out 7 years later in 2012. That's right, it took 7 years to get another Velociraptor from LEGO. This Raptor was released in 1 dino set from that year, and it currently costs $27. This was one of the first of the modern molded Velociraptors that we got, and it certainly won't be the last. That same year in 2012, we got this other version known as the Velociraptor with dark orange back, and this Raptor was released in another dino set from that same dino series, and it currently costs $35. This version of the Raptor is about $10 more than the green version we just saw because it was released in the largest set from the Dino Wave, which has definitely brought up its value and price over time. 3 years later, we got our next batch of Velociraptors, and this one is a fan favorite. It's the original version of Blue from the Jurassic World movie that was released in 1 set back in 2015. Currently, this version of Blue will cost you $33, and what's really surprising to me is that she is not the most expensive version of Blue on this list. That same set that Blue came out in brought us this next Raptor, and that is Delta. Delta has the olive green back and tan markings, and she definitely has some cool coloring to her, and she was released in 2015 in 1 set and currently costs $28.25. Up next, we have Echo, who was released in 1 set in 2015. Echo also has an olive green back, but she has some sand green markings and a nougat colored body. This is one of my favorite Raptor color schemes in the entire collection, and I really like the kind of bluish accents that are on her as well. It looks like the community also agrees with me because this is the most expensive Raptor on this list, coming in at $57.50. Charlie was released in that same set in 2015 and featured a dark green back with some line markings and black claws. Charlie currently costs $50, coming in $7 less than Echo, and as number 2 most expensive on this list. The set that Charlie and Echo came out in was a retailer exclusive, so less copies of this set were circulated in the public, which significantly added to its rarity, and you can tell that that's reflected in the aftermarket prices of these 2 Velociraptors that we just looked at. It wasn't until 3 years later that we got our next Velociraptor in 2018. This green back and vibrant green body version of the Velociraptor was released in one junior set alongside the Fallen Kingdom movie, and she currently costs $21.25 and is actually my least favorite color of all of the modern molded Velociraptors that we see on this list. Also in 2018, we got the Velociraptor with the dark brown back, or as I like to call her, the Jurassic Park version of the raptor, which came out in the one Jurassic Park set. This raptor currently costs $23.50, and she is one of my favorite raptors in the collection. I just like the plain, boring color scheme that's really kind of grounded and down to earth, and I appreciate that part about this raptor mold. In 2018, we got another version of Blue, and this is the Fallen Kingdom version. She was released in two sets, actually, and she got a much needed makeover from her first version that was released in Jurassic World. She was the first raptor to also use different colored legs and a different colored body piece. Some consider her to be the best version of Blue, and she is surprisingly the most expensive Blue on this list at $35.75. The reason I say I'm surprised by that is because she's actually the only version of Blue that was released in multiple sets, so I'm kind of surprised that her price comes in as the most expensive, but she was definitely better than the original version of Blue, so maybe that's why. This next Velociraptor is known as the Velociraptor with blue markings and blue eye patch. She was released in 2019 and came out in two sets. Currently, she costs $14 and is one of the two Velociraptors that came out in the Lego Movie 2 Lego set wave. This was one of Rex Danger Vest raptors from the movie, and it's an obvious pun and play on words to represent an unlicensed version of Blue the Velociraptor from Jurassic World. Here is the other version of the blue Velociraptor from the Lego Movie 2, and the only difference here is that this version has a lime eye patch instead of a blue one. This raptor was also only released in one set that year, causing it to be just a little bit more rare and more expensive than its counterpart from that same wave, and she comes in at $15.50. In 2020, we got another unique Velociraptor from one set. This is the Velociraptor with dark blue and sand blue markings and dark blue eye patch. This raptor came out in a Junior's Jurassic World Legends of Isla Nublar set, and she definitely has some unique coloring to her, and I really like the dark tan and dark blue color combinations here, especially with that sand blue accent. I really think it kind of brings this one all together as a complete package. This raptor comes in higher than I actually expected, being so recently added to this list at $21. There was a 2-year gap until we got our next raptors, and in 2022 we got Jurassic World Dominion, and that brought us Beta in a kind of cute little single molded piece here, and she's the other Velociraptor on this list that does not use that modern mold. She looks pretty proper and was only released in one set, and currently she cost a modest $5.50, making her the cheapest on this list, and she's actually still currently available on shelf in a set today. If you're wondering why the other baby Velociraptors from Fallen Kingdom aren't on this list, that's because Bricklink has them now listed as just baby dinosaurs and not baby Velociraptors, so I plan on covering them in another video. Jurassic World Dominion also gave us an updated version of Blue, and she was released in one set with Beta in 2022, and she currently cost $12.50. She is currently the only standard Velociraptor mold that is available on shelf today, and I'm sure her value will go way up in the future once this set retires, but as of right now, she remains very easy to obtain and a pretty cheap Velociraptor at $12.50. That is every single Velociraptor that LEGO has ever released. In total, LEGO has released 15 Velociraptors, and this entire collection of raptors comes into a total of $401.20. And I imagine that number will continue to rise in the coming years as these become more and more collectible as time goes on. Personally, I think that 2015 and 2018 were the best years for this collection, but I'm curious to know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining in the conversation in the comment section below. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.